I'll be able to help you.
Hey, I'm not mental or anything. Just because I talk to me plants, says it's good for him on the telly, doesn't mean I'm mental.
I don't think you are. No. I talk to my plants too.
Do ya?
Yeah. I don't tell anyone either. Have you always liked plants?
Yeah. I got a job in a florist shop once. Oh, it wasn't for long, but...
Why? What happened?
Well, I was doing real good for a couple of weeks. I was really loving it. And, well, one day this customer came in and started complaining about stuff. I don't remember what. And I got a bit upset, that's all.
According to your record, you were a bit more than just upset.
Yeah, well, see, he didn't know the difference between a cymbidium and a hyacinth, and he got me real mad, so I chucked him on stereo at him, and I just ended up smashing the whole place up.
All right,
Look, I'm not screwy, I'm all right now. I'm not going up on the roof anymore, and I wasn't even going to jump anyway. I'm not mental.
I don't think you are.
Well, why do I have to keep seeing you psychiatrist, then everyone thinks I'm bananas?
I think you may have a problem, but I think it might be more physical than mental. Now listen, when you smashed up this florist shop, do you remember if it was just before you had your period?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, you may have certain hormonal imbalances. At a certain time of the month, the chemicals in your body...
Look, I've already told you, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not loony, I'm not.
Hey, you lot. Bet you can't guess what's for lunch.
Same boring old thing.
Nah, talk Mervyn to cooking something real special.
Oh, what?
Get there, it's a surprise.
Cripe, she's pathetic. Who gives her stuff? As long as she keeps the good grub coming, eh?
So long as you know that's all she's good for.
Oh, look at them. Talk about the way to a man's stomach.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it, love? Psychiatrist give you a bad time?
Nothing, mate. It was just awful.
What?
Well, he kept asking these questions about private stuff. You just don't talk like that to fellas. He's one of them perverts, if you ask me.
Was sister there all the time?
No. He got me mixed up too. He kept asking about the dates when I wasn't down and the dates when I was down. I don't know. I thought he's okay when I first saw him. Now I reckon he thinks I'm a real loony.
Oh, come on, how could he, love? You're saner than most of us. Stop putting worries where they don't need to be.
Come on, Daphne, May's right. Sounds to me like they think it's physical.
No, he latched onto some real maniac stuff. He thinks I'm a real nutcase.
Oh, Daphne. Poor kid. I'm sure she got it screwed up somewhere.
Me too, but convincing her's not going to be easy.
I'm surprised there haven't been more suicide attempts, actually, considering what those women have been through.
Well, in Daphne's case, I think it would have happened anyway, siege or no siege. Oh, maybe not to the extent of an attempted suicide, but definitely a deep depressive state.
And the dates?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Note the date she was in trouble, one way or another.
Conclusions?
Just as you and Sister Hall suspected. A textbook case of premenstrual stress.
What do we do now?
Well, I'd ask you to keep a close check. And if the next bout of depression coincides with the days just before the period, it's fairly certain that we've hit the nail on the head.
All right. Well, before we go on with this, you do know what it'll mean, don't you? She could have a very good chance of having her charges dropped.
Well, looks like we've got a fight in our hands, doesn't it?
Oh, Joan. I'm sorry you had to fill in for me last night. They should have asked for somebody else.
Why? I was available.
You've done more than your share of double shifts this week.
So what's new? Listen, I'm pleased that Dennis is going to be all right.
Thanks. I'm going to see him this afternoon. I'll tell him. Do you know, I really thought Frank Burke was going to kill him.
They had to bring the death penalty back for maniacs like Burke. Locking him up doesn't make the public any safer. He'll only get out again.
Joyce told me about the bombed car. Is Terry's neighbour all right?
Oh, yeah, pull through.
It's been dreadful for you not knowing what he's going to do next. I'm sorry. You sound awful.
That's all right. I'll survive. Listen, those reports are there by the phone.
Oh, thanks. Did you get that message?
What message?
From Cynthia? What was it? She said she thought you'd like to know that her cousin's been taken seriously ill and be spending a few days in hospital.
Oh, thanks. You and Jen sure sparked up during lunch, Daffy.
Oh, yeah. She's real stoked because her lawyer's coming this hour.
I know it's boring around here, but getting excited about one of those money grabbers is a bit over the top.
Oh, no, she's... Oh, well, it's a secret. She'll tell you later. Hey, wasn't that good news about Mr. Cedar?
Yeah, he's a nice man, that one. It's not like that one we had at Barnhurst.
Well, let's do something then. Like send a get-well card.
Oh, hey, yeah. And I could put a pot plant with it.
Terribly sorry.
Oh, Willie, you gave me such a fright. I thought there's something wrong with the dryer.
That'll teach you, madam. I mean, did you see 3 helpings?
Oh, they were
God's
small helpings, didn't they?
Bit of a surprise, Merv cooking up such a beaut dish.
Oh, hey, maybe Mrs. Barry's given him some of her recipes.
Hey, guess what I just heard? Ruth Ballinger's been beaten to a pulp.
What?
hear that?
Came over the news while I was in maternity. Blackmore women did it. She's in the hospital.
Well, good for them. Wished I'd been there. She'd be on a slab for what she did to Mara and Tammy.
Goes to prove. You can't be that evil and get away with it.
Is it all arranged? Did Mrs. Goddard see the police?
Jennifer,
And
just...
George. She was going to see George. He's the gardener I told you about.
Jenny, sit down, please.
What is it? Mrs. Goddard hasn't changed her mind, has she?
Mrs. Goddard is dead. I'm sorry. I tried to contact her after you rang yesterday, but, well, she was killed before she even got to the police station.
What happened?
Hit and run. Apparently the driver didn't even try to avoid her. Witnesses said the fellow looked drunk.
And George? You saw George?
No, your aunt's moved into your grandmother's house, and the first thing she and her husband did was to fire the staff.
Poor George. He's worked for Nana all his life.
It's unfortunate for our case. No one knows where he's gone. It seems he's just disappeared.
Oh, a word if you don't mind. He's asleep anyway.
When will you be able to come home?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
There's nothing wrong, is there? I mean, the sister did say the operation was successful.
Bone and arterial damage, yes. I'm afraid the nerve tissue is another matter.
Yes, but with physio, I mean, Dennis is a fit man.
You must understand. It was a very delicate operation. We did what we could, but I'm afraid the nerve tissue is beyond repair. It could be years before he's able to walk. He must also face the fact he may never walk again. I am sorry.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare